Captain, there's no response to any of our signals, but M5 has given us an auto relay.
Coming into visual range.
Hi, and welcome back to the channel. Today's the day that I've been looking forward to and regretting all season long. This is the day that I'm going to pull these boxes and see just how much honey I did not get. Now, if you've been following along and you know what's happening here in Georgia and in pretty much in most of the South, we had a bountiful spring that lasted about, I don't know, 2 to 3 weeks, and things were popping and blooming, and it was nice and warm. And that was February. It was very early. It was unlike what we usually get. But then in March, it came in like a line, and we had about 3 weeks of ice-cold freezing temps, and it killed every nectar-bearing plant out there and pretty much killed the honey production for my bee yard this year. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through every single box today. My wife is going to help me, and we're going to go through every box and try to find every ounce of honey that we can find. Now, don't worry about the bees. I've got buckets and buckets and buckets of sugar syrup up there. I will feed them when I'm done. But that's the goal for today. One other thing, I did take some advice from some of you folks in the last video where I got stung a lot. Well, in Georgia, it gets hot and humid. It's 70 degrees right now, and I think it's 7 o'clock in the morning, and it's going to be humid today. So I got a vented bee jacket, and I'm going to be wearing that with some nice short sleeve shirt underneath of it. So hopefully I won't get stung today. And my wife is also going to be down here helping me, and we're going to try to make quick work of this. I'm also going to be trying a fume board. I've never used one before, and I've seen it done, and it seems to work. So I'm going to try to use a fume board instead of using the bee aggravator, that's my big brush, to try to clean off the frames. And again, the goal, we're just going to take as many frames of honey as we can find out here. We're going to leave the girls with anything that's got brood on it, and we're going to try to fill at least 1 bucket this season. Anyways, let me get my smoker lit, my gear on, and my wife down here, and we will get started. Okay, so I guess the question is, am I going to go without gloves today? And the answer is not even for a second. I'm sure that they are not going to be happy with me today, so I'm going to start with gloves to try to prevent the stings. Also, this jacket is very nice. I've got a short sleeve shirt under it. Now, I don't know whether or not the bees can actually sting through this. They say they can't, and we're going to, I guess, put it to the test today. I hope it works. I hope they don't sting through it. Okay, so I've got 2 of these fume boards. I'm not sure where I purchased them from. Maybe Better Bee or something. I'm not sure. But if you're not familiar with a fume board, what it is it's like a very lightweight lid with a light gauge tin on top, and it's got a piece of felt on the inside, and you spray the felt. That's Fisher's Bee Quick. Apparently what that does is it pushes the bees out of the top boxes down into the bottom boxes so that you can get the honey. Holy moly. I do have the aggravator as a backup. All right, let's see if it works. Go ahead and spray it on there. I don't know how much you're supposed to use. I think that's going to be enough. 2 to 5 minutes. The super will be cleared. Give it the old spritz here. Kind of smells like a cherry lifesaver. It's really weird. If you take a cherry lifesaver and you chew it up, that's exactly what this stuff smells like. So we're just going to go ahead and put it on there. See what it does. Okay, now we wait. I've got a special guest in today's episode.
That's weird. I'm not special.
It's the wife. She's very special. Smell this. Can you smell it?
I do. What does that mean, though?
No, it smells like a cherry lifesaver. I guess you can smell the cat. Maybe, well, you can't. It's a I don't know, something for the fume board. It's chasing the bees out of the super so we don't have to use the aggravator. But I think we're going to have to use a little bit. We can go old school. While this is steeping, we can jump over here to these. Or you just want to do it this way and see what happens?
Oh, it doesn't matter to me. What do you want?
Let's go ahead and just start grabbing honey. We've got to get the show on the road. It's going to get hot. But they're about to be angry. Okay, aggravator. Hopefully the fume board will work better on the other hive when I give it more time. Now as soon as you put it in there, put the lid back on it over there because we don't want bees on it. They'll rob out. So put the lid on. There's 2 lids. All right. There's some honey. Barely capped, but it's in there. All right. There's one very little honey on the back. Capped frame on the front. We're going to go ahead and take it. Okay, we just broke open some bridgecomb honey. That's not good. But hey, they're good there and good here. We're going to take it. This one looks like a very heavy frame. Oh, that one's got a lot of brood on it. We cannot take that one. Let's see what we have happening here. Okay, there's a full frame of honey. We're going to take it. Let's get into this one. And the fume board worked. Look at that. Beautiful. Oh, I like it. Look at that. Beautiful. With a handful of bees on it, but we'll take care of that. All right, this is a nice frame. We will take it. Trying to get them to fill up the other frames. They didn't do it. Boy, I tell you what, that fume board works. Look at this. I have officially one bee on here. The rest of it's empty. Great. Here's another frame here, honey. That is a nice frame. I thought I would bring you back to look at the white hive because I think this is going to be the star of the show this year. I think these girls delivered, whereas the rest of the hives really didn't. So far we have about 9.5 boxes of honey, but the frames are not all full, so it's still kind of crappy. Anyways, let's get into this hive now. I did use the fume board on this hive, so let's see what happens. There's a bee just buzzing like crazy, but this top box can be pulled as it sits. Now this entire box looks like the frame I'm about to pull out. I guess I can pull out any frame, would be the easiest one to get out. I guess this one right here is going to be the easiest. Yeah. Beautiful. And they're all like that. The next one over is the same way. They're all this box is going to weigh about 50 pounds. Oh goodness, yep. Oh. Okay, this one, these are half full but no brood. We're going to take them. And let me tell you something else that fume board spray is good for. All of my boxes sitting over there in the wagon were being attacked by bees. Sprayed the outside of the boxes with that. Now the bees have left it alone for the most part. And they're still there, they just don't want to land. Okay. There's honey, no brood, we're going to take it. Here you go. Okay, this is a full frame. Not capped, but I'll take it anyways. The next one is full and capped. As is the one beside it. All right. She gave us about 1.5 boxes. I'll take it. All right, so we've gotten through all of the hives and we've kicked off a serious robbing situation. This whole apiary is just going nuts. The good news is we've harvested about 18 boxes. Now these boxes don't all contain full frames and some of the boxes aren't full, so I would say the equivalent of full frames, maybe 10, 11, 12 boxes. It's better than I thought, but not as good as I'd hoped for. Anyways, let's get upstairs and start getting these things extracted. All right, well, it's day 2 and we are going to be doing the extraction today. Now we did all the harvesting yesterday. We've got the boxes, they're stacked up in the kitchen. They've been airing out overnight trying to reduce the moisture content in the honey. And today we are going to be extracting the honey. We're going to be using 2 different extractors. The one that I always use that's bolted to the floor in the corner over there. And we're going to be using this extractor, this 4-frame deep extractor that was provided to me by Bee Castle. Most of my stuff is going to be run today in my extractor that I use every year because I am running mostly mediums from this bee yard. Anyways, let me get my stuff together and we're going to start the process. I'm going to give you a tour. We'll take a closer look at this extractor. Let you see what it looks like on the inside. We'll watch it go and all that fun stuff. And then we will start the extraction process. We've got Brady the albino beekeeper that's been helping me in the Bee Castle yard and down in my bee yard. He's going to be helping me with the extraction today. The wife is off doing other things, so she might pop in and out of the video, but she's not going to be doing a lot of the dirty work today. Brady's going to be doing the uncapping. I'm going to be running the spinner, and we're going to try to get as much honey out of this harvest as we can. So let me get my stuff together. Let me get Brady in here. We're going to get our gloves on and keep it clean, and we're going to get this honey extracted. And one more thing before we get started, I want to kind of show you some of the things that we've accumulated here. Now, some of these things are ours. We just recently harvested some cucumbers from our garden. Of course, you're familiar with the Bug Farmer Cup and the Bug Farmer Honey and the Bug Farmer Mead. This is Chateau Le Bug, my own mead there. And this is a fantastic bottle of wine. Now, I bought a case of this. Frederick Dunn had this wine featured on his program. He actually took the photograph that is being used on this label, and this is from Arrowhead Winery. And it is fantastic wine. It's a blend of two different types of wine that I guess you're not supposed to blend. And this young winemaker decided she wanted to blend them, and she did, and it turned out fantastic. And it is great wine. We've only got 2 bottles of it left. I'm going to have to buy another case if they have some more, because they only did a short run of these, but it's fantastic. Old McNally, James McNally sent me some honey there. Brady, the beekeeper, he's the albino beekeeper that's helping us. He brings custom beer here, and this is McNally's coffee mug. Fantastic. CJ at Barn Life Happenings, or Schick Happens YouTube channel. He sent me some nice bourbon, some Weller there, and some banana peppers. So fantastic. We have a lot of neat things coming and going all the time. I thought I would take this opportunity to show you a few of them. I have a little uncapping tank that now this is not a real uncapping tank. This is a tank that I got from a food service place that was going out of business, and I've modified it to work with my my uncapping. So Brady's going to be working this station, uncapping there, hanging the frames in here. I'm going to grab them from here, put them in the extractor. So this is the extractor. It's not a bad setup, let me tell you. So I've got it turned on. Let's get this thing going here. It's got decent spin, a little lag to the motor, but I think that's just spinning up. It holds a nice speed right there. This is heavy-duty stainless steel. We've got some solid legs here. Now you can hear the noise. This is my mic is right on it, and this is all the louder it gets. So it's not very noisy. I don't know what horsepower this motor is, but it is sizable, and it seems to do the trick. Let me go ahead and I gotta wash my hands before I touch this camera.
Yeah. That's where the smart money's at.
That's where the smart money's at. We have a little bit down at the bottom. It's nothing major yet.
Are you going to take bets on the amounts?
I'm thinking that I'm going to get about 10 gallons today.
10 gallons? Okay.
Which is not good.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's better than no gallons, right?
10 gallons greater than no gallons.
It is. Mathematically.
Yes.
The arrow points to the right. Yeah. There you go. Okay, now we're going to do some ASMR in the Bug Farmer videos.
What is ASMR?
ASMR is people tapping their teeth and clicking on stuff. Oh yeah, ASMR. I don't know what it stands for.
Maybe people with misophonia will probably not like that as well.
Misophonia.
Misophonia.
What's misophonia?
Is effectively chewing sounds and things like that. Just drive people
Okay, if there's
crazy.
anybody out there that has mesophobia, I'm sorry. Autonomous sensory meridian response, ASMR. There you go. This is some ASMR. All of you folks out there who like ASMR. It looks like something that Captain Kirk would see on the screen of the Enterprise when he was flying to a strange planet. It's coming to get him.
Captain, there's no response to any of our signals, but M5 has given us an auto relay.
Coming into visual range.
Going to work for a second.
Hey, we have fun. We have here at the Bug Farmer Apiary.
Honey extraction
That's a
headquarters.
honey party.
Yeah.
This is nothing like Mr. Ed's honey extraction party that we were trying to entertain. We're trying to make it fun. There's not a lot to look at, but we're making it fun. Hands. It'd be like Thing from the Addams Family.
Yeah.
Thing is extracting honey. Okay, the moment of truth. Are we going to get any honey? Yay! We have some. We have honey. See, the bad thing about YouTube is we can't play music. I mean, I can put some canned music on here while we're doing this, but I mean, we should be playing rock and roll or something, or some Metallica or AC/DC or some greatest hits of the 70s. September. Some Earth, Wind, and Fire, man.
Do you remember?
Do you remember? Now that frame looks like it's from last year.
Okay.
That looks like fall.
I was gonna say it's kind of a darker.
That's something they probably didn't finish over the winter.
Gotcha.
Because I left a frame of honey, or a super of honey on each one of the hives last year to try to save myself money on sugar, on feed. All right, so here's the situation. I only have 2 deeps. I don't even have 4 full deeps. So I've got 2 deeps, and this one's full on this side, half capped, not full at all on this side. I mean, there's nothing on this side. So we're gonna do the best we can with this. In order to keep it from being off balance, I guess I'll put one on one side, one on the other, and then I can put a couple of mediums in there. I don't know. We're gonna do the best we can. The problem is that I just don't have the frames to run in it right now. Here's another deep. We've got a little bit of honey on this side, a little bit of honey on this side. It'll be off balance. Let's just try to run it with 2 and see what happens there. Now this is going to be off balance. We've got 2 frames and they're vastly different weights. Seems to be handling it though. It is quiet, and I'm running it at 70% right now. Go to 80. Those frames are off balance. Just pulling the honey though. Oh, it's dancing just a little bit. We're back down to 80. Let's just let it run. All right, so we're coming along. We've got both spinners running. So far we've harvested 2 full buckets. This one over here. We're filling this one. I've got some drippings from the uncapping tank, the makeshift uncapping tank, running down in there. These are all ready to be spun, and that's all we've got left. And while we're here doing this, we just stopped for dinner. Had some wonderful ribs. I'll put an image on the screen, but all of a sudden a massive storm came in. It's raining again in Georgia. Then we had a huge oak tree next door. If I can get over there and get a picture of it, I'll put it in the video. But if not, you'll just have to take my word for it. A huge oak tree blew over while we were sitting down at the dinner table. So it's quite an eventful day. But the extracting continues. It's not as good as I hoped for, but it's better than I thought it was going to be. So I'll take it, and I will give you totals at the end. All right, so it's the end of the night. And when I say end of the night, I mean it's the end of the night. It's 11 o'clock. We've been doing this all day, and this is all that's left. I've got all of these wax cappings. They're draining, and hopefully I'm probably going to get another maybe 5 gallons out of this. I mean, there's just a ton of honey. I've got about a half a bucket filled down there. I'm afraid when I go to bed, I'll wake up in the morning, I'll have honey spilling out on the floor, so I'm probably gonna have to get up in the middle of the night and check it. The spinners both did well. That's the one I always used. It did a great job. This one actually pulled a lot of honey for us. By the end of the night, we were dumping the mediums in there, and it was holding up. It did a great job for me. So we had both spinners running. We did have a bunch of boxes to get through. We did get through them, and thus far, I've got 4 7-gallon buckets of honey filled. And I think what we've calculated thus far, not counting this honey here, is 232.2 pounds, and that does include the tare weight of the buckets being removed. So 232 pounds of honey, which was a lot more than I was expecting this season. So the bees worked a little bit harder than I thought they did, and we got more honey than I thought we were going to get. Anyways, I'm going to go to bed, and we will wrap this thing up tomorrow. All right, well, there you go. The end of another adventure. The 2023 honey harvest is in the books, and it didn't turn out as bad as I thought it was going to be. I thought for sure it was going to be a complete bust, and it wasn't a complete bust. I didn't get as much as I'd hoped for, but I got quite a bit. I think we're going to end up, when it's all said and done, with 245, 250 pounds of honey. So that is a win. I will take it all day long. Now the bees are behind me. They're cleaning up all the honey supers in the extractor. They've got a lot of work to do before the rain comes, but don't worry about the bees. They've all been fed. Every one of them's got a gallon of sugar syrup on their hives down there, and I'm going to continue to give them sugar syrup until they have enough to make it through dearth into the fall flow. I also want to thank my wife for standing out there in the hot sun with me yesterday and harvesting all this honey, well, the day before yesterday, and then my buddy Brady, the albino beekeeper, for coming over yesterday, and he uncapped about 98% of all the frames that we harvested. I was kind of running the spinner, and he was uncapping, and let me tell you, that was the tedious part of the job. So I want to thank him for all the help. I couldn't have done it without either one of your help. Doing this by myself would have been nearly impossible. So with all that said, I want to thank you for stopping in to watch this video. If you enjoyed it, do me a favor, give me a thumbs up. If you have something to say, by all means, please comment. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, do me a favor, take a moment, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell to be notified of my new content. I try to drop a video every Friday. We try to keep it light and have fun. So with all that said, be happy, and I will see you next week. Take care.